Hey there, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy, and we're going to jump right into the subject, and that's going to be talking about a lot of people's thoughts on emulation and piracy. At least what I have seen, and how people oversimplify some things, as well as going to talk about a few things that involve Nintendo in this process of them going after the Yuzu emulator group. So, and this is because I have noticed as of late, a lot of my posts have getting on X have been getting a lot of traction, far more traction than normal. And it's mostly because I'm sharing my unfiltered opinion. I almost said unbiased, but unbiased doesn't fit here because obviously I do have a bias, but my opinion was unfiltered. So just let me warm you guys up for everybody that hasn't seen that long post that has like nearly 50 responses now. Right now, okay, not right now. I responded to a post where somebody took another guy's TikTok that oversimplified everything that people say when they speak about Nintendo bringing their games over to PC and emulating them and the arguments that like they oversimplified it. And it was like you make these explanations, then you try to play counterpoint like you're talking to Nintendo. If you're counterpoint talking to Nintendo, they are going to bury you in legal language, first of all. If you want to be honest and realistic and not have a version of Nintendo that's just going to sit there like a dunce and be like, oh, that makes sense. I can do that. That's not how Nintendo's going to operate. Nintendo's going to find every little loophole and crevice, or at least their lawyers are. They're going to find every loophole and crevice that they can talk to that buries your point. Secondly, X has a character limit, and I'm not paying to unlock it. I'm just not going to. I haven't done that thus far. I'm not at all in my life planning to. So I tried to simplify what I said as best as I could to make it as general as possible to fit my points quickly into what I said. So essentially, my response to that post, because I quoted it and responded so that people could see what I was responding to, and very quickly said PlayStation and Xbox games weren't being pirated before they moved to PC. In a general sense, that's the truth. They weren't being heavily pirated before their games went to PC. Second thing I said was you're not allowed to take something from one location. If something isn't available in one place, you're not allowed to take it from somewhere else and bring it there. When I said the word take, that implies not buying, not purchasing. Meaning you just went into that other place, nabbed it, and left. Anybody that saw my short or the post that was on X understands exactly what I meant when I said that. A lot of other people just assume, well, if I bought it, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. But the first thing that you jump in and say is, if I paid for it, I'm doing what I want. Firstly, there are several legal issues that you still have to cover, but we're not going to dive heavily into that. And the third thing I said, which most people acknowledge to be true, even if Nintendo brings their games to PC, people are still going to pirate them. Now, I will explain my points. Because it's easier in this format to explain my points than it is in that tweet. Because you lose a lot. And I should have been a little bit more specific When I said Xbox and PlayStation, I should have said Microsoft and Sony, as in Microsoft and Sony proper, as in the IP they owned. Even then, if I said that, I'm pretty sure people still wouldn't have gotten the full context. But still, that was my gaffe. That was my fault. I messed up on that particular detail because I wrote PS and Xbox because they were shorter to put them like that versus, well, not technically, because if you switch MS and Sony, it's the same amount of letters. Then that was just me not thinking about it at the time. But Microsoft and Sony stuff wasn't being heavily pirated on PC, especially not something that was a current market platform. Not when the emulation scene really started to get big. It wasn't. Anything back then was Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine, and Neo Geo for the most part. Those were the things that were being heavily emulated. It wasn't Sony and Microsoft. It was not. Especially since Microsoft came in bringing in PC games to the console space. So no, it wasn't Microsoft stuff that was getting heavily pirated. But the problem is, again, character limits on that site. You're going to lose some context sometimes. Unless you make it about one complete point. And then separate everything. But I wanted to hit all the points quickly. But no, those were not being heavily pirated back then. Especially not specifically Sony and Microsoft's first party lineups. Now, games off of those platforms, yeah. There were definitely some Sony games being pirated. You know, maybe the most popular ones, like Final Fantasy VII, for instance. I know that was being pirated a decent amount after PS2 came out. After PS2 came out. But also a lot of the games that were on PlayStation and Xbox had PC versions. So they didn't need to be pirated. They just need to be bought. But people were still pirating the PC versions. And again, that wasn't first party stuff. That was third party games. We talk about Nintendo stuff being pirated. People generally understand you're meaning Nintendo's first party. So when someone says anything about Microsoft and Sony, if we're talking about pirating and then we mention Nintendo, if we include Microsoft and Sony in that conversation, shouldn't we be on the same line? Right? You think generally you'd want to keep your argument consistent, but people will drift away from that. Second thing, if something is not available in one store, you cannot then go to another store, even though it's inconvenient for you to go there. Walk into that store, pick up something, walk out of that store, and leave with it. You're not allowed to do that. You would get arrested on the spot. If officers are nearby, you get arrested on the spot. If there's security, they're likely to attempt to detain you. But you cannot just walk in, grab something. Oh, this is the thing I wanted. It wasn't at the other store. And then turn around and leave. You can't do that. That's not allowed to be done. The people who claiming they aren't doing that jumped all over that post. And then there was even somebody who said, well, emulation's not illegal. I'm like, I never said emulation was illegal. I don't ever think I said emulation was illegal. Like, that was not in the text of what I said. Like, that's not even a point I made, so why bring that up? Why bring it up? But then there's so many people that say, well, if I want to play my game at 4K 60, but like, bro, not everybody playing that shit at 4K 60. Well, y'all stop lying y'all asses off. Like, so many people run and talk about, well, Steam is doing this, but Steam did a fucking survey of the people that have their platform on their computers, and the majority of people are still gaming at 1080 fucking p. So we can nix that goddamn argument. Well, if I want to play it at 4K 60, I should be allowed to. I don't give a fuck if you want to. But please stop lying about that shit, though. Like, please. Like, please stop lying about that. And again, I'm not talking to you if you actually made the purchase. If you didn't make the purchase, then we're fine. I have nothing to do with you. You didn't circumvent paying for the product. I don't care what you do. Nintendo might, because you gotta circumvent their copyrighted encryptions, but I personally don't. I have no care about that. That's not a subject I'm worried about. So if you ain't a hit dog, why are you hollering? Like, it's people thinking that, like, when they make these comments, they're not telling on themselves. It was like I specify, like, maybe I didn't specify because I thought maybe the language was understandable to say, hey, if you bought it, not you can't go to another store, buy something, and then bring it into another store. If you bought it, you can take it with you. For all I give a fuck. But you can't walk in and take it and then leave and take it to another place. That's still illegal. That was what I said. Not, hey, dude, you bought that, right? Well, guess what? You can't take it over there. Didn't say that. Didn't say that shit whatsoever. But that was where I'm like, if you are not the person at the end of my scope, why are you trying to duck and dodge like you screen watching? Why? Because I'm not talking about you, but you feel the need to jump in and say, well, I do it. I'm not talking about you. You are not the subject matter, but your feelings are really hurt. So maybe you are the subject matter. Maybe you are the subject matter and you're just trying your best to say, well, yeah, I buy all of my shit. Prove it. Prove it. Show it. Post some screenshots of you playing the game on hardware. Show the legitimate copy of the game that you bought. Something. Show your eShop screen where you made the purchases, because they do log that. Come on. Show that you bought it. If you feel like you have to run into this conversation and it supposedly ain't got shit to do with your ass, show your shit. Show your proof. Because this conversation has nothing to do with you otherwise. Otherwise, nothing to do with you. Again, I'm not worried about the circumventing of Nintendo's encryptions. That's a whole different subject. That is a whole different subject. And honestly, I think that there should be some legal leeway with that. But I'm not talking about that. That is not the subject of the conversation. So if you are not the person rolling up into the store, snatching a bunch of shit off the shelf, and then walking out the door, you have nothing to do with this conversation. Nothing. It's not directed towards you. You are not the target audience. So please, if you have nothing that actually adds anything critical to the conversation, please step back. That's all I'm asking. Just step back. If you're not the one doing it, then you don't need to worry. Though there was one dumbass in response to the first point said, we are. I'm like, okay. And then he shows a picture of him doing this shit. And then puts up the fucking post about the goddamn Sony link. And my response was like, why would you put this out there, you fuck? I was like, why would you put this out there? Like, you're literally telling people you're pirating. I'm like, and I've been on this thing recently telling, like, don't tell everybody what the fuck you doing on social media. Whole dumbass, just roll up. Like, yeah, I'm doing it. I've been doing it. I'm still inside Microsoft and Sony shit. Okay. Good on you, bruh. Good on you. Go ahead and keep doing it. Even though I talked to past tense and a lot of people responded present tense. Said past tense. There were some people that were able to respond past tense, but that's a whole different thing. And to the last point, the very last point, people will still pirate Nintendo's games on PC for several different reasons that I can come up with off the top of my head. First thing is, there's going to be a bunch of people that don't want to download another client, and you know if Nintendo puts their games on PC, they are going to have their own proprietary client. They're not going to want it. Now, some people don't care. Like me, if they had a client on PC and I want their stuff on PC, I'm just going to go ahead and download the damn client. It's not going to hurt me. But there's going to be a lot of people that make that an excuse. Remember how many people got up in arms about Epic Games having a client online and having exclusive games to it? Yeah, this is going to be the same thing tenfold. Because it's gonna be people like, well, no, man, I don't want to have to go ahead and download that client. Why can't they just put that shit on Steam? Because not everything has to go on Steam, and Nintendo wouldn't want to have to pay Steam an extra bit of money or that much more money to put their games on. I mean, just speaking straightforward with you. Another thing is, they're not going to drop the price of their games. That's another reason they're probably not going to want to put their shit on Steam, because Steam regularly does sales price drops that take games from $60 down to like $5. And they're going to be like, nah, we're good. We'll keep it on our stuff. If we do any sales, we'll match the sales on our eShop, on our platform, and just translate them to PC. But we are not going to do that thing there. Now you can bet that's going to be a lot of a problem for a lot of people, because they're going to be like, well, no, I don't want to. I can't wait it out. You can wait it out, but you're going to be waiting years and years and years, not a year, years and years and years. So that would be another reason people wouldn't want to go ahead and and they'll go ahead and pirate the console version on PC again. And the third reason is that the game's going to be identical on PC to whatever their console platform is. It's not going to be any different. They're not going to go the extra mile to make it look more spiffy. The only thing that you might get is higher resolutions, and that's going to be it. You are very likely to only get higher resolutions. I don't think that if I'm Nintendo and I want everybody to have a one-to-one experience, I'm not going to change several things from the console to the PC. I'm just not, because I want everyone to have a one-to-one experience. Now, if they're more flexible in that, this could be a little different. I'll admit that. But they don't seem to be very flexible on that particular idea. So, that is something to consider. That is something to think about. And a lot of people aren't going to consider or think about that. I am, which is why I'm talking about it. Those three things will be the major reason a lot of people say, well, no, I ain't gonna buy that shit. Like, I can just go ahead and get it for free and emulate it. Get the same damn thing and even get better, because people will be messing around with the code of the games in the emulator to add features to the games that I actually want. Sound familiar? Anybody? Does this not sound familiar? Does this not sound like well, if I want the game, I want to be able to play it at 4K 60 crowd? Even though that's not necessary for everything? Oh, I don't want to play it on underpowered hardware. But you want the fucking games that come from that underpowered hardware. Like, here's the thing. If y'all want games on games from Nintendo's first party games on PC so bad, why not get together a group of people to try to work with Nintendo? It's not like you can't come up with a group of people or come up with a movement to push this idea forward for Nintendo. It's gotten stuff done before. Operation Rainfall, anyone? So if this is really that important to y'all, why, instead of stealing their shit and emulating it on PC, why not make the movement to get them to bring their stuff to PC? Why not make a concerted effort to draw their attention in a positive way to that market? Because if you keep stealing their shit, and I mean literally stealing their shit, they're not going to want to do it, because all that does is paint a bad picture of the PC crowd. And on top of that, Nintendo doesn't want their shit modded. They really truly don't want their shit modded. That's why they have so many encryptions in their fucking stuff. Yeah, people break their encryptions all the time, but that doesn't mean that that's why the encryptions are there. Oh, another thing. If Nintendo goes ahead and brings this stuff to PC, it's going to be heavily covered with anti-cheat and anti-piracy measures. So that's another thing that's going to send people to just going ahead and taking the console version of the game illegally and emulating it. So it's either you're going to have to find a way to bring positive attention to this idea, or maybe not be a thief. And when I say be a thief, I'm talking about stuff that is readily available for people to actually purchase legally and get them and pay the company. That's it. That's it. Now, if there's a situation where something is unavailable for you to get, or it is so financially detrimental, like the game is in the hundreds of dollars to go ahead and purchase a copy of it off of eBay or something, because people love to fucking price gouge the shit out of each other, I can understand people going ahead and downloading stuff and emulating, or downloading it and playing it on the platform of choice. I can understand that. I don't have a qualm with people in that specific set of circumstances, that specific situation, because I'm not going to get mad at somebody going ahead and downloading a copy of Three Dirty Dwarves from the Sega Saturn and playing it in the Sega Saturn emulator. I'm not going to get mad at that person. Because that game, last time I checked on eBay, the lowest price for that game, for a copy of that game, was $150. I would not get mad at somebody for that. Trust and believe, I would not get mad at you for that. I understand not wanting to pay an overprice for something. But again, that's a specific set of circumstances. I'm not going to get mad at that. Now, getting stuff that's current market, yeah, I have a problem with that. Because you have an available way to support it. You have an available way to support it. Just because you don't want to doesn't change shit. You have an available way to support it. If y'all want this industry to actually be worth something, then you need to support it the right way. That's as simple as that. As simple as that. I would be having the same conversation, and just because somebody said this, I would be having the same conversation whether it was Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Capcom, EA, SNK, Konami, Toys for Bob, because they've now spun off as an independent developer. I would be having the same conversation. Doesn't matter who it is in the crosshairs. And honestly, the main reason I am so staunchly about this like this is because I talk with indie developers. I do playtesting for indie developers. And to see people run with this logic, it eventually will trickle down to the indies, and then we won't have lower cost games in this industry at all. And that's my most major concern. Damn Nintendo. My biggest problem is that I know that this type of mentality will spread downward. You start with the top, and then it'll work its way down to the lower tier developers. And I only mean lower tiers, and they don't have the same size studios. Yeah, it will eventually trickle down to indie studios, and I know for a fact that that will happen. I know for a fact that that will happen. And as much as I like to support the indie scene, nope, I'm not for it. I'm not for it at all. I don't want to see indie developers lose the chance to actually become something and to actually follow their passion and to make money off of following their passion. Because eventually, if this keeps going, it will get down to them, and then that's the end of the fucking industry. That's going to be it. And I don't want that. I personally don't want that. So if you wanted a reason as to why I'm so staunchly gung-ho on this, that's why. But I think I'm done with this TED Talk. So anybody has anything they'd like to say, any opinions that they would like to share, any thoughts that they would like to share, please do. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy, and I'd like to thank you once again for tuning in. If you would be interested in supporting my efforts in content creation, please head on over to Amazon and look up The Game Idea Guy Presents Gaming Word Search, and you will find both Volume 1 and Volume 2 up for sale. Thank you very much once again, and I hope to be able to create more content for you in the future. Peace out.